When would a fruit or vegetable be tax-free under Labor's rumoured election tax policy?
Does it have to be fresh? Could it be canned? What about frozen? And here's a spanner in the works: dried fruit. Well, you'll notice we've asked a lot of questions. Let's hope political reporter Lloyd Burr has some answers.
It's a place we spend a lot of our money, a large chunk of which is in the produce section. This is where National claims Labor is rumoured to be removing GST.
I can't reveal my sources.
If National's finance spokesperson Nicola Willis is right, there'd be no GST on things like pineapple, mango, green beans and beetroot. But there's a problem.
What about canned fruit? Or what about things like fruit juices or derivatives? And the same with vegetable products. Where do you draw the line?
It's a good point, because elsewhere in the aisles lurks a can of worms in the form of canned beetroot, canned beans, canned mango and canned pineapple. The frozen section adds more brain freeze, frozen mango and frozen green beans. And pick your spanner from the pick and mix, there's dried mango and dried pineapple too.
It's just far too complex to even sort of make workable.
Peter Dunn spent more than 8 years as Revenue Minister. Many proposals for policies like this came across his desk, but none were workable. Finance Minister Grant Robertson knows that too.
It becomes an absolute boondoggle to get through. If you do it off fresh fruit and vegetables, or even staple products, then you get into an argument, what's the difference between beetroot and canned beetroot?
We checked, and this can of Wattie's beetroot is $3.19, much cheaper than these two fresh beetroot, which cost $4.80. So which one would be GST free? The fresh ones or both?
We're not going to play the rule in or rule out game. The only things that we have said publicly that are ruled out are a wealth and capital gains tax.
It's been Labor's policy before. The then leader Phil Goff announced it ahead of the 2011 election.
Labor will be axing the GST tax off all fresh fruit and vegetables.
It was axed 2 years later. Could it be different this time?
I think the intention is clear. That's often true in most cases. The problem is we get unintended consequences, and we get, as the tax working group called it, complex and arbitrary boundaries.
Certainly complex for the Back to Basics government, which has now added fruit and vegetables to its bread and butter agenda.
Well, Lloyd joins us now from Parliament. Lloyd, Labor's not had the best week, has it? Is this policy something that can turn it around for them?
Yeah, well, it's not even its policy, not yet anyway, but if Nicola Willis is right and this was the policy that they were rolling out, she certainly has stolen the Labor Party's thunder on this one. I mean, tax has been a topic that we've talked about a lot, probably far too much for my liking around the Parliament, but Labor's ruled out the wealth tax, they've ruled out capital gains tax, but this one, they haven't ruled it out. They're not playing that game at all. Maybe this was the policy that they were holding on to, the big kahuna that they were waiting for the election campaign in order to announce it. Maybe they're going to take a page out of Helen Clark's playbook from 2005. You remember interest-free student loans. She announced that just a couple of weeks out from the election. People loved it. Boom, she got re-elected. Maybe they were trying to do that. Maybe they were holding on to this policy to announce just a few weeks out from the election. But if that was the case, Nationals come along and they've certainly taken the wind out of the sails. Having said that, though, having National talk about the Labor Party's policy, or a rumoured policy like this, a very popular policy, is certainly not a bad way to end the week, given how it began for Labor.
Lloyd Burr, live from Parliament. Thank you.